Good afternoon, Dr. Hickey. What I'm going to be going over is one of the internship activities on extracurricular. Uh, One of the things that was part of our activity was to ask the superintendent about the last cheerleader or athletic controversy that was handled, and for us to reflect on how we would have handled it. I'm going to be reading off of my computer because I typed out the scenario. What occurred was that during the off season, the head assistant principal in charge of discipline got a call from the head football coach to please report to the field house. He immediately knew that it was something serious because it's not always the head football coach that calls. The athletic program was in the off season, and the varsity football team was running what they call their annual boot camp. Those familiar with boot camp know that it is training done to toughen up athletes and bring out the competitive spirit and nature in them. Usually, a course of stations where different drills occur is set up. One particular station during this boot camp was the dog bone station. Every station was manned by one or two members of the coaching staff, and in the dog bone station, it was being supervised by one assistant coach. What occurs during dog bone is that the staff utilized a track relay baton, and they had each end covered in white athletic wrapping tape. It was covered with enough tape to make it look like a dog bone. The idea of this drill is for each of two athletes to grab onto the dog bone, and it's student A's hand, student B's hand, student A's hand, other hand, and then student B's other hand. So it's alternating hands. And the objective is to see who's the last one with a hand on the dog bone. This particular day had the starting running back going up against the backup quarterback. Somehow or another, the drill got a little out of hand and tempers flared and a fight ensued. The running back knocked over the quarterback. While the quarterback was on the ground, face up and his head against the ground, the running back proceeded to punch him in the face. And pretty much the fight seemed to be over, and the running back kept swinging at the backup quarterback. And what ends up happening is quarterback ends up with a broken jaw, a broken nose, and of course teeth go flying everywhere while he's being punched. At the end of it all, the two boys called a truce, and they cleaned up the both boys and were seeking to get some medical help, of course, for the backup quarterback. The disciplinary action that the administration took was the following. They filed a reprimand on the assistant coach who was manning the station. They also suspended the assistant coach, and they gave a reprimand to the head coach. And they placed the running back at the alternative center for 6 weeks. Although the quarterback didn't want any disciplinary action taken, the administration took action due to prior incidents that had occurred with the running back. They also took into consideration that once they pretty much deemed that the fight had been over, the running back took advantage and punched the quarterback while he was in the ground and pretty much defenseless. The victim did not want any kind of action taken and didn't want anything done about it, but the victim's parents did choose to press charges, and the running back was arrested and he was taken to jail. The running back at the time was 18 years old. The quarterback was a minor and was 16 years old. As I reflect back on this as superintendent, I would pretty much allow these games to continue. However, I would ensure that the coaching staff knows exactly what the rules are for each of these stations. We have UIL activities go on all the time, contact and non-contact sports. So the intent of this drill is that once that somebody lets go of what we consider this dog bone, the game is supposed to be over. The supervising coach should have called the drill over as soon as somebody let go. And it seems that maybe the situation got out of hand, and probably because the supervising coach didn't stop it when he should have stopped it. They let it get out of hand and encouraged the game to continue when it wasn't necessary anymore. The objective of this drill had already been met, so it should have been over. On my part, and reflecting, I would make sure that all students are trained on the purpose or the objectives of the off-season boot camp, as well as the coaching staff. This shouldn't have gotten this far from a simple competitive drill. So that is basically what I would do a little bit different, is just make sure that I had student training and some staff development on what we are trying to accomplish with this type of drill, or what the head coach is trying to accomplish with that. Thank you very much.